Welp, here it is, the end of version 2.6, and you know what I'm gonna say to you right now is that this is what you'll be doing for the rest of the version until version 2.7 is actually coming. No, we don't know when it's coming. We don't have exact information since the 2.7 update got delayed. I don't really think it's on them. Honestly, it's not their fault. It's because of the current situation that they're having. It's really a rough situation. If you have the time to research, just go look it up. They're having a lockdown in their cities, exactly Shanghai, and I think Beijing also has that lockdown too, where you basically can't go out. You can't go outside. You're not allowed to do anything other than staying in your houses and just do whatever you can to help yourself. It's not a good situation. You really need to know that when it comes to development for a game like this, it's not as simple as just work from home or just work from somewhere. Bring a laptop and go work on your game there. It's not as simple as that. I'm pretty sure of it. You know, being someone who tries to develop a game myself, I do know it's not an easy thing to do. But what I'm about to talk about is the effects that could be happening as we wait for the 2.7 update. We haven't got exact information about you know, the exact date that they will be having the live stream for, and also maybe the compensations information, even though that's not what I'm really focused on right now, and you shouldn't be focused on that right now. I think I'm interested to take a look on what is really happening in this game and in the community as the delay happens. So the first thing that I want to talk about is basically in the game itself. What can we really do as 2.7 gets delayed? You really have to know that this game is really dependent on its events, you know. It's something that you call a live service game, where you play a game that is constantly being developed in an agile environment. I know that's a really nerdy thing to say, but yeah, it's a term that you call for developing a product, where you constantly make the game or product to be better. Essentially, if you do not work on that game for like even a tiny bit, even for a tiny duration, that is not gonna be helpful. That is not gonna be healthy for the game. Nothing is going to happen other than you playing the same old thing in this game, like the daily commissions, the expeditions, and no events. It's as simple as that. You don't get events, you don't get anything to do other than the daily commissions, probably the Spiral Abyss, but that only happens every 2 weeks, so that's not really it's not really something to do on a regular basis, and it's gonna be really rough for both of us on both ends. For the developers, they really have no power to continue developing this game for a certain time, and we don't have anything to do in this game, which is even worse, considering that even with events we don't really have something really interesting when it comes to gameplay. I think Irodori was pretty good. Like, let's say not really the best, but it has some good stories, some good plot to entertain yourself with, but it doesn't really have that much gameplay to it. You just go around, talk to people, talk to your characters, and also just plant flowers and fight some duelists or something, I don't know. Irodori is basically it, and this is the type of event that we always get, right? So not having those events is making it much worse for Genshin Impact, and the effect is making a ripple effect on many other aspects. So now we're going to talk about the outside of the game, and that is the player base. The player base keeps decreasing every day, I think. just look at the Google Trends or something, like, you know that Genshin Impact is losing that momentum when it comes to the player base and engagements. The traffic is not really looking that good these days. You can see from the videos on YouTube, they're not doing really well anymore. And the content creators obviously are not doing well. I even saw Mtash getting some problems with him doing content for Genshin. My speculation is that these content creators are probably really burnt out at this point, and they've hit a really bad low this time. It's just getting worse and worse for the content creators as well. And I don't know if I've covered everything about the effects of this delay. I think there's a lot of problems in Genshin Impact that they haven't addressed, that leaving the game like this in a delay leaves everything much clearer to people, that there is a lot of problems in this game. Other than the events, like the optimizations that they haven't done or implemented. I can't really list it, but I do feel like there's something that has been addressed, but they didn't implement it yet. And there's also some that they didn't address and didn't implement. The list is going to go on. I can't really tell much about it, but I do know that a lot of people are gonna have a really rough time for Genshin in this delay. They're gonna have a hard time figuring out what to do in the game, other than maybe raising their characters that they haven't raised before, like their Chi-Chi from their Ayato polls or something. But on the bright side, I guess, you do have some more breathing room to get some more primo gems for the next character, Yelan and Shinobu, and you also have more time to prepare for some things that Hoyoverse is probably gonna implement soon. Maybe a new feature, we don't know yet. And speaking of new features, I did saw that the trailer for the 2.7 update got leaked, I think. And you know what I'm gonna say is that that is the most despicable thing I've ever seen. You know, for a leak to happen right when they are having a lockdown, where they basically have no power to do anything against those leaks, or just can't do anything, basically, where the company is basically in a paralysis, is really a scummy thing to do, you know. I know it doesn't affect you personally, it doesn't affect you as a player, but as a developer, that is gonna suck a lot for you, when you can't do anything and people basically just steal from you. You know where that goes, right? So the trailers, if you see those trailers in the YouTube recommendations, please don't watch it. I'm not sure if there's gonna be anything good that you can get from there, other than maybe some content that they're showing, maybe events. But like I said, when it comes to events, you really need to know that these events don't make any difference unless they do something permanent, especially for endgame. I like the Vibro Crystal, but the fact that it goes away, well, there he goes. You don't do anything after that. It's basically back to zero. And going back to the topic about those leaks, it's not going to help you. I promise you, if you watch those leaks that they're making about the trailer for the 2.7 update, it's not going to help you. You're just gonna... I think the duration was actually at 30 seconds long compared to most trailers. Maybe it's missing some parts of the video, of the full video, and it's not showing a full picture of what 2.7 is going to be. So again, don't do it. Don't watch it. There's no meaning in watching those leaked trailers. I saw it getting around 300,000 views in just a couple of hours, I think. And you really need to stop. You really need to stop feeding those views to them. They're just gaining attention when the company has no power to stop it, you know. If I were in their position, I would just cry in the corner, you know. I'm pretty sure of it. And So again, about the delay, I think it really sucks for everyone. It's not just for the developers, for all of us. We expected 2.7 to come, we expected the 2.7 livestream to be this week, but I personally had a feeling that this was going to happen since the Serenity Teapot maintenance. I had a feeling this was going to happen. Obviously the Serenity Teapot maintenance had me going for a speculation that they have started to stop working on the game in their offices. They can't do anything for the Serenity Teapot unless they're in their office at Shanghai. But Shanghai is on a lockdown and you can't do anything. And it's the same for this delay. Of course, they're going to address some things that need to be addressed, like when is the delay going to last. You know, we can't have this delay for an eternity. That's not going to help the game. We obviously need some exact dates so that we can look forward to the game again, so that the game doesn't feel dead anymore. And of course the compensation, even though I don't really look forward to it, I think it's really unnecessary for a company giving compensations when they themselves had no choice about it, had no choice about what they are doing. Come on. The lockdown wasn't their choice. It was really a disaster that came right from their window, and it really sucked. I do want to talk about some things though, in the future. Specifically, Star Rail. I'm looking forward for the closed beta test. Probably coming this month on May. If I do get the access to the closed beta test, then I might make a video on it. I might give my first impressions, give you guys my opinion on how the game is going, what's the situation with the beta, is it really getting better than the first closed beta test, that kind of stuff. So if you would like to see that in the future, you can definitely subscribe. And look forward to more of my videos real soon. So thank you for tuning in, and see you next time.